The Los Angeles Dodgers are dominating the early season landscape, but all eyes are turning to the historic ivy-covered walls of Wrigley Field. The Chicago Cubs are back in action, marking a season defined by tradition and intense competition at one of baseball's most legendary venues. From the manual scoreboard to the atmosphere under the lights, the north side of Chicago remains the place to be for every Major League Baseball fan this April.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Talking about individual brilliance, you have to keep your sights locked on second baseman Nico Hoerner. He is currently playing out of his mind for the Chicago Cubs, transitioning from a Gold Glove defender into a legitimate MVP-caliber offensive force this year. His batting average and RBI production are soaring, making him the absolute spark plug, fueling this Cubs squad as they look to extend their recent hot streak. The Philadelphia Phillies are hitting a major wall, and the pressure is mounting after a rough road trip to Chicago. With the offense struggling to find its footing and the pitching staff dealing with some seriously tough breaks, the reigning NL East champions are fighting to turn their season around before the hole gets even deeper. Every pitch in this series against the Cubs carries immense weight for the Phillies as they search for a win. The latest chapter in this rivalry saw Nola struggle on the mound, while Dansby Swanson delivered a massive home run to solidify a Chicago Cubs victory. It has been a long losing streak for the Philadelphia Phillies, and the urgency to bounce back has never been higher as they look ahead to their next matchup. If you want to stay in the loop with all the high-stakes baseball action, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. There is a unique, almost icy magic to a game at Wrigley Field, even when the wind is biting and the early season trends are still finding their footing. While the Los Angeles Dodgers are currently asserting their dominance as the team to beat in these opening weeks, stepping into the friendly confines feels less like watching a modern spreadsheet of analytics and more like stepping back into a living, breathing piece of baseball history. Wrigley isn't just a ballpark, it's the original trendsetter. Long before the multi-billion-dollar stadiums of today, this place was revolutionizing the fan experience. Think about it. They were the first to let fans keep foul balls, the first to introduce organ music, and the first to intentionally market the game to families. It's a cathedral of the sport that managed to survive the modernization wave, keeping that iconic manual scoreboard. A piece of technology so vintage it's powered by the sun and steel ladder labor rather than high-def LEDs. Watching operators maneuver behind those heavy slats, or seeing the ivy cling to the outfield walls, it's easy to forget that this stadium was once just a patch of land looking to redefine a pastime. Through a century of renovations and the dramatic shifts of the game, Wrigley remains the gold standard for what a stadium should feel like. It reminds us that baseball is a game played in the present, but rooted firmly in the past. Whether you're catching a home opener or a breezy day in late April, the experience remains unmatched. What is your favorite piece of history tucked away in your local stadium? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the heart of the game. After all, the best part of baseball isn't just the winning. It's the story that stays with you long after the final out. Ever felt like your favorite team's struggles were actually your fault? Last year, I tried using Beastie Boys lyrics for my previews and the Phillies tanked. I stopped. They started winning. Coincidence? Maybe. This season, I tried the Guns N' Roses approach, and well, let's just say it's been another disaster. So the music theme is dead. We're going back to basics with some old-school opposition research. If the Phillies start winning again, you're all welcome. Now, the squad is heading to Wrigley Field to face the Cubs, and honestly, a change of scenery is exactly what they need right now. Getting away from those understandably frustrated Philly fans might be the mental reset they need. But don't expect the Cubs to roll over. They're riding a 5-game heater, and a big part of that is second baseman Nico Hoerner. We all know Hoerner as the defensive wizard with 2 gold gloves, but this year, he's evolved into an absolute nightmare for opposing pitchers. He's batting .325 with 21 RBIs, leading the National League, by the way. Look, logic tells us he'll eventually regress to his career norms, But if he keeps this pace up, we might actually be talking about him as an MVP candidate come October. That's a massive leap for a guy who used to just be known for his glove. Back to the Phillies, though. Things look bleak, and if you're panicking, I get it. But here, as the reality check, I look at this roster and I still don't see a bad team. The veterans aren't hitting a cliff, it's just this weird collective malaise, a brutal mix of bad luck and sloppy play. We've seen this core survive the May 2023 slump and the July 2024 dip, so there's historical proof they can drag themselves out of the mud. It is painful to watch, I know, but don't count them out just yet. What do you think? Are they actually broken, or is this just another classic slow start? Drop a vote in the comments and let me know. Sometimes, the most frustrating seasons are the ones that turn into the best stories, so let's see if they can write a better ending to this one. Is it time to hit the panic button in Philadelphia? Welcome to Wrigley Field, folks, where the struggling Phillies are looking to snap a brutal 5-game losing streak against a Cubs team that's currently feeling invincible. The narrative here couldn't be more polarized. Philadelphia, once the pride of the NL East, is currently reeling, sporting a league-worst run differential and looking like a shell of their former selves. Their offense is stuck in the mud, ranking near the bottom of the league in almost every major metric, while their pitching staff, despite having some solid underlying numbers, has been hampered by some seriously tough luck and shaky defense. Then you have Chicago. The Northsiders are absolutely surging, riding a 5-game win streak that included a sweep of the Mets. They've got a real catalyst in Nico Hoerner, who is playing out of his mind right now, tied for the league lead in RBIs. And don't sleep on their pitching. During this winning tier, their staff has been lights out with a sub-220 era. We are looking at a rematch on the mound between Nola and Colin Rea, the exact same pairing we saw just a week ago when the Cubs cruised to a 10-4 victory. Looking at the odds, DraftKings has the Cubs as the slight favorites at -115, with the total set at 7.5 runs. Can Nola bounce back, or will the momentum stay squarely on the north side? Honestly, it's hard to bet against a team playing with this much confidence. The Phillies need a spark, but until they prove they can overcome this slump, the smart money is sticking with the hottest team in the building. Head over to DraftKings Sportsbook to get in on the action and see if the Cubs can make it 6 in a row. It's a long season, but for Philly, the pressure is officially on. Who do you have taking this one? The desperate contender or the rising force? Is the sky falling in Philadelphia? 6 games, 6 losses, and a total meltdown. That is the current reality for a Phillies squad that looks nothing like the World Series contender we were promised. On a freezing night at Wrigley Field, the Phillies fell 5-1 to the Cubs, marking a brutal 8-14 start that we haven't seen since the disastrous 2015 season. Nola's night began like a dream, breezing through the first inning on just 6 pitches. It was efficient, it was dominant, and it was misleading. By the second inning, the wheels didn't just wobble, they fell off. Nola labored through a 27-pitch nightmare, capped by a massive 424-foot bomb from Dansby Swanson that basically put this one on ice before it even really started. Nola is now sitting on a 5.06 era, and frankly, the Phillies' inability to turn things around when he is on the mound has become a recurring, frustrating theme. And let's talk about that offense. Scoring just 10 runs over their last 6 games isn't just a slump, it's an offensive famine. They had their chances, loading the bases in the second, but couldn't convert, finishing the night 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position and leaving 10 men stranded on the base paths. When you have a payroll north of $300 million, you expect more than just missed opportunities and pop-outs. Watching Alec Boehm struggle at .133 feels like watching a microcosm of the entire team's current identity crisis. At some point, this talent has to translate to the scoreboard, but right now, the Phillies are simply beating themselves. If you're a Philly fan, let me know in the comments. Is it time to panic, or is this just a long, cold stretch? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the ups and downs of this season. At the end of the day, champions aren't defined by how they start, but if they don't find their rhythm soon, this hole might just be too deep to climb out of.